We're back. China's back after a 1+8 day holiday over Spring Festival. Over 15 million people carried as of late. Let's take a look at Chunyun stats as China gets back to work.
China's been keeping itself busy on the rails. For the statutory 8-day Spring Festival holiday alone, that's from the 10th of February through to the 17th of February 2024, over 99.46 million journeys were made on the national rail networks. However, the central authorities have recommended employers give people an extra day off on the 9th of February. So if you add that day, the grand total is now closer to 107.718 million journeys made. Think about it, a tenth of a billion journeys in just 9 days. Chinese New Year works slightly different than the New Year most of us are familiar with in the Gregorian calendar, starting on the 1st of January. Whilst the 1st of January rail ride is certainly not unheard of, it's rather rare in a Chinese calendar. Most people tend to stay at home. Hence, for day 1 of a year of a Chinese dragon, the railways carried only 5.565 million people, with just 176 extra trains, overwhelmingly short and medium-haul ones, called into service. Ridership, however, started almost doubling from the very next day, and by day 3 of the Lunar New Year, we were back to over 10 million journeys recorded per day. The 12 million marker was broken on Valentine's Day, or day 5 of New Year, when 14.245 million journeys were made. On the last day of the statutory 8-day break, the railways recorded their busiest day ever, 16.067 million completed journeys, although forecasts foresaw 16.2 million, but it was still a very busy day with over 2,200 extra trains called into service. This was as more and more people started getting back to work, which this time interestingly enough started on a Sunday. During the holidays, big cities in all parts of China except for the west and northwest were busy, although the southeastern coast as well as northeastern China were less busy than others. The usual suspects, including Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, Xi'an, Zhengzhou, Nanjing, Hangzhou, Wuhan, Chengdu and Chongqing, were busy as both departure and arrival stations and on busy routes of travel. The official rail figures, however, didn't quite reflect the traffic chaos in Hainan, which struggled to carry passengers out of the island at times because the railways mostly ran in a loop inside of the island itself. The railways of China tend to improvise and dynamically alter timetables as they go, sometimes doing quite the opposite of Switzerland, where timetables are finalized well ahead of time. Still, the number of extra trains in service per day were usually in the 1,000s, dropping below 1,000 for the days around Lunar New Year, then over 2,000 on the 17th of February. Most of China, especially central and eastern China, could be seeing rather intense precipitation plus a drop in temperatures, however, and snow could mean delays or cancellations. Most of this is expected to happen between the 17th and 22nd of February 2024. The railways, however, have historically responded quickly, cleaning up platforms, taking care of tracks, and adding trains as needed so to minimize any impact as possible. And that's a look at the Spring Festival peak travel season as China gets back to work in the new year of the Chinese Dragon or Long.